that are there in the NCF.
Yes.
The different chapters that includes Part A, it is all about approaches.
Hmm.
Part B, school subjects and areas.
Hmm.
And Part C, cross-cutting themes. Part
Great.
D, school culture and process. Part E, it is creating a supportive ecosystem.
Great.
So the key characteristics of NCF that we have to keep it in our mind while reading is all about after reading of every chapter, we have to just focus whether it is towards a goal directed and is it practice enabled, is it educationally valid, like sound research behind it, and it should be engaging. It should be always in the improvement mode of driving. It should appreciate the diversity, and it is also about mutually reinforcing elements. It should be connected with the curricular goals, pedagogy, assessment, and evaluation.
Great. Next.
Then we moved to the need for education, the vision of education.
That comes under first chapter, aims of school education.
Yes. All these are the basic vision of NEP 2020. So it talks about the importance or need for education is to achieve the core values like valuable knowledge, capacities, values, and dispositions by an individual.
Great.
And the main purpose of the education system is to develop good human beings, and where they are filled with the important core values like compassion, empathy, and courage, resilience. And
Great.
they should also be in a position to imagine with the vibrant knowledge and values.
Great.
And the type of individual that we need are like engaged individuals, productive and contributing to the society. And the type of society that we need is like equitable, which means like giving necessary resources to make everybody achieve the specific goals or targets, and inclusive and plural. This is ultimately the dream of the Indian Constitution, where we wanted to achieve by 2040.
Great.
And we moved to the basic basis of grasping knowledge, different pramanas. It's all about 6 different pramanas where the like acquisition of knowledge happens by an individual that differs. It's a kind of multiple differentiality. The first one is all about through 5 senses, which we call it as pratyaksha. The second one, it is all about observations and inferences, that is anumana. The third one is all about using examples and comparison, that is called upamana. The fourth one, arthapati, that is a knowledge by applying in real life exam situations. And the fifth one, anupalabdhi, that is by using instincts. And last one is sabda, which we grasp the knowledge by using resources.
Great.
And we stopped with the final topic, like what are the aims of the school education in NCF. There are around 5 criteria, important criteria, which talks about to build the individual with rational thought and autonomy. The example what we saw is like sun rises in the east. And it's all about health and well-being. A healthy mind will always contribute meaningful to the society. And it is all about the individual should be contributing to the society to bring out the sustainability development and economic participation, where the individual should be taught to make them effectively participate in the economy, which benefits both the individual as well as the society. And last point is like cultural and social participation. It is all ended with the rootedness in India. It is Indianization.
You missed one point, that is democratic participation.
I told, sir.
You said democratic participation? No, you didn't.
Development to bring sustainability. Okay, sorry, I would have missed.
Democratic participation. That's okay, but then you covered all the points. Great.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
So let us start with today's learning. That is 1.3. The third subtopic of this chapter, 1.3, is values and dispositions that are to be achieved. So today we are going to explore in this particular topic, what are the values, what are the dispositions, and what are the capacities and knowledge that are to be achieved. Speaking about values, the subheading is values. The first value is ethical and moral values. So speaking about ethical and moral values, there are certain things that we need to instill in the students. The first one being seva, seva dharma, ahimsa, swachhata, satya, nishkama karma, tolerance, honesty, hard work, respect for women, respect for elders, respect for all people and their inherent capabilities, regardless of background, and respect for environment. So these are few values that we are that the NCF is expecting us, the educators, to instill in the students. So seva, you know what's the meaning of seva? Service, isn't it? All types of services, maybe medical services, any type of service. We have to instill this in the mind of the students. Ahimsa paramo dharmaha. Ahimsa is something that we need to. Children are behind, you know, things that are really cruel. They enjoy cruel things a lot, isn't it? Especially children from high school. वो जो एनिमल मूवी आया था बच्चे तो बहुत ये हो गए उसके पीछे like see that the character of the person there, isn't it? So such sort of things children are showing and they like these video games wherein there is lots of killing, shooting, all such sort of things. So ahimsa is something that has to be promoted. Swachhata, really there are few children who are not at all bothered about being clean. Not only themselves, but also their surroundings. Swachhata, that has to be promoted. Satya, speaking truth. You know, as you all are, most of you are from Hindu families. I don't know, I really remember like one of the shlokam that has been told to me by my grandmother. Okay, once I asked, what are the flowers that we are supposed to use in the worship of God? Then she became very much, happy. And, grandson asking something and that too something good about God and all. And she was telling to me, she said, Ahimsa pradhamam pushpam, pushpam indriya nigraham, sarvabhuta daya pushpam, shama pushpam viseshatah, dhyanam pushpam, jnanam pushpam, tapah pushpantu saptamam, satyam ashtavidam pushpam, vishnoho preetikaram sada. So these are the 8 types of flowers which we need to offer at the feet of the God, it seems. So the so-called Satyam and Ahimsa are also here. So we have to teach Ahimsa and Satyam to children, like righteousness. Nishkama karma, doing things without expecting anything. These days, we put in our status, no? Once someone is really not with us, we feel do something, do not expect anything from everyone. Okay. If we teach and instill such sort of knowledge, see, like, don't you think most of the adults, they are undergoing these things because all these things were not introduced while they were students? Don't you think so? If at all the things which are stated in NCF were taught to us in schools, we would have led more better life, don't you think? Also, the present generation, okay, middle-aged people who are presently, there, like they would have led a very happy life. Okay, so nishkama karma, tolerance, honesty, hard work, respect for women, very much important, respect for elders. These days, somehow respect for elders is very less, I suppose. And respecting all the people, irrespective of their capabilities. Even we, if we want to befriend someone, we just look into their capabilities. Don't you think so? Somewhere, isn't it? So befriending everyone, irrespective of what their capabilities are, has to be taught to the students. Am I right? That is one thing. Moving on to the second value, democratic values. democratic values, wherein democratic outlook, commitment to liberty and freedom, equality, justice and fairness, embracing diversity, plurality and inclusion, humanness and fraternal spirit, which means we all belong to one fraternity, that is India. Social responsibility has to be improved. Spirit of service has to be improved. No one wants to join the Indian Army other than people from Punjab and Kerala. Hardly few people from Punjab, most of the people from Punjab, they love going and joining the army. I don't know why. Most of the people from Kerala and few parts of Tamil Nadu also, they love going and joining the Indian Army. Like it's the spirit of service has to be improved. Okay. Army or teaching are not those, professions wherein a person who is having no other options has to come and join. Okay. The people who really want to serve the nation, who are ready to sacrifice their life, they go to join army, Indian Army. Am I right? So such sort of things are also to be instilled in the students. Commitment to rational and public dialogue, which means they have to literally participate. Public dialogue means participating in the decision making of the governments. Peace has to be instilled. Social action through constitutional means. Okay. Like these days, we come across people who really get agitated and they throw stones. They go with dharnas, all such sort of stuff, which is not good. We have been seeing such sort of things in the last few months and years. So we should create awareness about the constitution among the minds of the students so that they approach constitutionally with the help of constitution to do any such sort of activities. Unity and integrity of nation, which is more important. These days, every state is fighting with some other state, neighboring state. So that has to be reduced. Unity and integration of nation also has to be taught to the students. And then the third one is epistemic values, which means using evidence and justification for understanding scientific theory. For understanding any scientific theory, children should take the help of evidence. They should do the research for evidence. Okay. So these are the three important values stated in NCL that we need to instill among the students. Moving on to dispositions. Please take the subheading disposition. The first disposition is positive work ethics. Like at workplace, one individual should be honest and should have responsibility at work. Chitra ma'am, how many people you come across on daily basis at your school whom you feel they are not responsible towards their work? You're on mute.
Yes, sir, quite some, because they first think about themselves. How much are they going to get back is their main question. Then only accordingly they do, just for the sake of doing, they are doing. I'm not saying all, but many of them are there.
Yes. So that should be instilled right from a very, tender age, from school level itself. And the second disposition is curiosity and wonder. How many teachers are curious at workplace? Soumya ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Are all your teachers curious at workplace?
Not a handful at the most.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir,
Sorry.
at the most, a handful. So no one is curious. Like we have to take special classes for the teachers to instill in them, the value of curiosity. And if you are not curious about, a particular child or why is he behaving in that manner, you will never be able to bring up the child as per your expectation.
Yes. So apart from that, there is one important thing, lifelong learning. even, like at the time of, during the last days also of a human being, there should be a zeal to learn something. Every day, some new learning. Okay. And investing on learning. Give me 2 seconds, teachers. Kindly forgive me for the interruption. Yeah. So lifelong learning has to be promoted. We have to, make every student, every teacher, every principal, every human being should become a lifelong learner, and curiosity to learn worldly things, whatever is there in this world. Okay, a curiosity has to be developed among the students and teachers as to learn these things. Okay, and then the third disposition is pride and rootedness in India. Are all the children having this pride and rootedness in India? Are all the teachers having? Are all the PET masters having? Poor PET people, I want to do a special session for them. Those are the people like who are actually always unhappy. They act as if they are happy, but they are actually unhappy from inside because of different reasons, isn't it? So pride and rootedness in India is something, a disposition that has to be improved in the students through our, curriculum. And so these are the dispositions. Now, 1.3.2 is capacities. What are the capacities that are to be instilled in the student? So values and dispositions teach how to act. Capacities help us to act skillfully. A person, when he is responding to an action, his values and the disposition he or she has learned, they are very much visible in the action. Okay. But the capacity which a person, an individual develops, it helps that individual to act in a skillful manner. You need values and dispositions as well as capacities. Capacities without values and disposition is not good for the society, and values and dispositions without skills or capacities is not useful for the society. Like a person without values and only capacities will become a Ravana, wherein a person with capacities and values and dispositions will become a Ram. Am I clear? So this is what is important. See, like NCF is highly philosophical. यहाँ पे ना हम एक्टिविटीज करवा के लाइक गेम्स कंडक्ट करके कुछ नहीं सिखा सकते, बहुत फिलोसफिकल सब्जेक्ट है. So we have to give the touch of philosophy while we are speaking to our teachers also about NCF. Okay. So these can be developed through deliberate and conscious engagements. Like we have to plan activities and, several things in such a way that deliberately in such a way that these capacities will be, inculcated among the students. So the first capacity is inquiry, INQUIRY, inquiry. What is inquiry? Observation, collection of evidence, analysis and synthesis, experimentation, and innovation. A process which includes all these steps is called as inquiry. Am I supposed to repeat?
Yes,
Observation,
yes.
observation, collection of evidence, analysis and synthesis, experimentation and innovation. So these are the 5. This is a cycle. All these 5 steps together is called as inquiry. These are the integral part of inquiry. Okay. The second capacity which we need to inculcate among the students is communication. What is communication? It is the ability to listen, speak, read, and write in multiple languages. Not just English or Hindi or any regional language, multiple languages. The ability to listen, speak, read, and write in multiple languages. Okay. The third capacity, problem solving and logical reasoning. The third capacity is problem solving and logical reasoning. It is the ability to formulate problems and develop many solutions. After developing many solutions, choosing the best solution to solve a problem. Okay, that is problem solving and logical reasoning. The fourth capacity is aesthetic and cultural capacities. What is it? It is nothing but creativity and expression through art, which improves health and well-being. Art has the capacity to, what do we say, cure many diseases. I don't know if you people have heard about this. Music and dance have the ability to cure diseases, it seems. So aesthetic and cultural capacities, which includes arts over there, helps in, creative and expression through, creativity. It improves creativity of the students, and expression through art improves health and well-being of the individuals. Let's go to the fifth capacity, which is capacities for health, sustenance, and work. Capacities for health, sustenance, and work. Health, sustenance, and work. Skills and capacities should enable students to lead a life physically and mentally healthy. See, whatever you teach at the end of the day, what matters for a human being, everything is a very important aspect. A person's behavior, a person's capacities, a person's values and disposition, skills and knowledge, everything is a very significant part of human life. Anything less will actually deteriorate the life of the human being. So health and well-being is also a very important aspect. Whatever capacities the child acquire, he or she has to use it for a healthy living. Okay. And the sixth capacity, which we are calling it as capacities for social engagement. Capacities for social engagement. What is social engagement? Cooperation, teamwork, and leadership. So these are the qualities which are very important. Cooperation, teamwork, and leadership are the important aspects of social engagement. Done. So we have seen capacities. What are the 6 capacities needed to be inculcated among the students? Prasida ma'am, can you tell?
So,
Yes, ma'am.
all the capacities I have to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. First one is inquiry. Then second one is communication. Third one is problem solving and logical reasoning. Fourth, aesthetic and cultural capacities. Fifth one, capacities for health and sustenance and work. Sixth one, capacities for social engagement.
Great. Great, ma'am. Now let us move on to 1.3.3, which is knowledge. What type of knowledge is needed? We have seen what values are needed, what dispositions are needed, what capacities are needed. Now we are going to explore what knowledge is needed. Okay. All the above values and dispositions can be achieved only through knowledge, isn't it? We should have some existing knowledge as to acquire all these values and dispositions. How is that we are getting this knowledge? Who will teach the children that you should respect elders, you should respect women, okay? You should have ethical and moral values. You should have democratic values. Who is going to tell the child all these things? Or how did we come to know? How did the people who has documented this NCF have come to know? It is
Okay.
yes. Teachers, just 1 minute, teachers. I'll be back. There is something I need to address. Yes. So there is something that I need to address. I'm sorry. Yeah. So where did we get this knowledge from? And what type of knowledge is needed? The knowledge should be self-acquired. Okay. One can acquire knowledge by themselves with inquiry method or by researching. Also, the knowledge which is gained from others. Okay. And social knowledge which we get from the society. We can get the knowledge naturally from the natural world around us. Okay, these types of knowledge can be used to acquire the so-called values, dispositions, and etc. So the knowledge which has been gained, it makes one capable of rational thoughts and actions, isn't it? Now, if we observe, we have 4 types of knowledge: self-acquired knowledge, knowledge gained from others, social knowledge, and knowledge gained from the nature. So from all the 4 dimensions a person can think. and he can take rational decisions, isn't it? We could gain this knowledge from different inquirers who carried out vast inquiries since ages. So schools should work towards sharing this knowledge with new generation. See, speaking about values and all, we have several people like Swami Vivekananda, isn't it? We have many philosophers who worked continuously throughout their life, who sacrificed their lives as to, give some knowledge to the people through their writings as well as through their experiences. Am I right? When we read the autobiographies of these people, we get to know. So apart from that, within the stories also, we have lots of knowledge to gain. For example, let us take the story of Prahalada. What does the story of Prahalada teach us? He was put into water, he was put into fire, he was made to be bitten by snakes, scorpions, even elephants were made to, walk on him. I mean, he was made to be, what do we say, like put under the feet of the elephant. But still, Prahalada always, he took the name of the Lord and he remained silent. He had that belief that one day God is going to come to save him. So what quality we learn from Prahalada? Resilience. At any point of time in life, okay, we have to stick on to our belief system and wait for the right time. You will be saved. Am I right? So where is that we are getting this knowledge from? In which book we find the story of Prahalada? It is from Srimad Bhagavat. Isn't it? And who gave us Bhagavatam? Bhagavan Vedavyasa has given us Bhagavatam. And it was told by Sri Shuka. Isn't it? So, NCF clearly, I have taken an example to make you people understand, which means all these things are inquiry based. Actually, Vedavyasa has done a vast inquiry. And then he gave us the so-called book called, like Bhagavatam, from which we get to learn several values and dispositions. That's the reason CBSE has introduced Ramayana in school many years back. Most of the schools are still following. Apart from that, now till here we have spoken about values and dispositions connected to knowledge. Now every subject also has a specific purpose. Am I right? Which we are going to explore. And goal, when subjects are integrated, they help in gaining more knowledge. So schools should promote subject integration as well. Okay. Apart from values and dispositions, schools should also promote subject integration so that children get to learn several things from subject integration. So that was all about knowledge. So it's a very dry subject, knowledge. Only thing that you have to understand here is you can acquire knowledge from any person, anywhere, and use that particular knowledge to develop the values, dispositions, and capacities. That's it. Knowledge can be gained from anywhere and from any person, provided it should be useful to have good values and dispositions and capacities. Am I clear with this? Yeah. Next, we are going to section 1.4. Section 1.4, towards a curriculum. Here we are going to actually explore the curriculum. Today we will be completing this chapter, that is chapter 1. Thank you. Chapter 1, towards the curriculum. So what school needs to do? School needs to make arrangements to develop in students the desirable values and dispositions, capacities and knowledge through which the aims of education can be achieved. Do you remember day one I told curriculum is not just the subjects. Curriculum is the 360 degrees experience which we give to the child, which includes activities, excursions, everything. Am I right? So that has to be planned in such a way that the aims of education can be achieved. So the curriculum is a deliberate and explicit set of choices of organizing the school experience for students that are related to direct teaching learning experience in different curricular areas, as well as the overall school culture and school process. So what is curriculum? Direct teaching and learning, school process, and school culture. All these three put together, we are calling as a curriculum. Curriculum is nothing but overall teaching learning process and school process, as well as school culture. So there are specifically 8 curricular areas, okay, like which has been proposed by NCF. Before that, take down 1.4.1. What is school culture? What are we supposed to do? Let us see the arrangements which a school should do. In this chapter, they are going to tell us what are the arrangements to be done by the schools to achieve the aims. School culture. If the meeting ends, kindly join with the same link. School culture, 1.4.1. Did you take the heading? Students need to be socialized into the extent, culture, and ethos of school to achieve the aims. Okay, socializing the students. Let children participate in activities wherein they can actually, like meet several people, okay, meet diverse set of people and communities. Okay, so that the aims of school education can be achieved. School needs to promote specific values deliberately so that students can immerse in those ethos and culture to learn them. How can we promote values as a school? Have you ever heard about IMCTF? There is an organization called